Good evening. Glad you're with us tonight. A scuffle between first responders is caught on tape.
Highway Patrol troopers and a paramedic nearly come to blows while a patient was being taken to the hospital. Dave Jordan shows us the tape and possible charges for the paramedic.
Well, Amy, OHP alleges that one of the paramedics you're about to see on video assaulted an OHP trooper. Now, that alleged assault is not on this tape, but the man who shot this video says all of this could have been avoided if troopers acted differently.
You understand me? You were under arrest. Okay, you were under arrest. I'll get in there.
The video is as disturbing as it is shocking. Two first responders scuffling in the street while a patient awaits treatment for heat exhaustion.
Hey,
And we're like telling this dude, like, man, my mom is in the back, man. My stepdad's like, man, my wife is back here. Can you do this at the hospital?
Kenyatta Davis, the son of the woman being transported, shot this video of the heated argument. He says it all started because the ambulance failed to yield to OHP troopers who were en route to a call along Highway 62 in Payton. But Kenyatta says the driver of the ambulance was trying to avoid hitting a car that slowed down and wasn't aware of troopers nearby until it was too late.
He slowed down, and as the car was getting over, that's when he passed us. And I didn't hear him.
But after OHP troopers finished their official business, they pulled the Creek Nation ambulance over. You can hear one of the troopers chiding Paul for failing to yield.
I've been going hot over here to help the county out. You understand? Yes, sir, I do.
Once the ambulance was pulled over, Kenyatta pulled out his phone and shot video of the scene. The trooper goes over to arrest the paramedic who was treating Kenyatta's mother. OHP says he assaulted one of the troopers before this incident happened, and that's when this struggle ensued. We showed this tape to News 9 legal analyst and former police officer Irvin Box.
It didn't look like it was being handled very well, at least from the tape I saw from the trooper's standpoint. It's something, if he had done something earlier, it's something maybe could have been handled after the patient was transported.
Now, OHP allowed the ambulance to continue on to the hospital without arresting the paramedic, and the entire scene, including the alleged assault, was captured on dash cam video but has not been released. The Okfuskee County DA's office is reviewing all of the footage and could file criminal charges against the paramedic by the end of the week.
Well, you saw the video right here on News 9. A trip to the hospital turned into a fight between first responders. Tonight, the dispute is over who's at fault. Dave Jordan joins us now with an update on that, Dave.
Well, Kelly, the trooper in question, identified in newly released documents as Daniel Martin, is under investigation tonight by his own department. This comes one day after video of him trying to arrest a Creek Nation paramedic in the middle of a transport made headlines nationwide. It's the video many people are talking about, a violent confrontation between first responders outside of an ambulance as a patient inside waits for medical care. Now, Trooper Daniel Martin, seen with his hand around a paramedic's neck, is now the subject of an internal investigation, although he and his partners remain on duty.
The highway patrol officers, the troopers, are not being placed on any type of leave. If the investigation determines that there were some type of violations of department policy or procedure, we'll address those accordingly.
OHP says this all started after the ambulance failed to yield to troopers who were responding to a call. Once the troopers finished their official business, they pulled over the EMS as paramedics were transporting a patient. That patient was Kenyatta Davis's mother. Davis shot this video of the confrontation after paramedics were pulled over.
We're like telling this dude, like, man, my mom is in the back, man. My stepdad's like, man, my wife is back here. Can you do this at the hospital?
That's what both paramedics were trying to say, according to statements they made to Creek Nation officials. According to paramedic Paul Franks, he told Trooper Martin, "We have a patient en route to Prague ER. If you would follow us, we would sort this out afterwards." He says Martin told him, "Get your blank in my vehicle. I'm giving you a ticket right now." At that point, Maurice White, the other paramedic, says he exited the rear of the ambulance to make a similar plea. Trooper Martin tried to arrest him, and after a brief struggle, he returned to the back of the ambulance. OHP dash cameras recorded the first confrontation between the men. Prosecutors now have that tape, which they say shows Maurice White assaulting Trooper Martin. Have you seen the whole tape?
I'm really not at liberty to discuss any of that. I mean, anything that would be on the tape would be a matter of the internal investigation.
Now, the Okfuskee County District Attorney's Office told me they were reviewing the dash cam video and all the other evidence surrounding this case, but as of now, no decision has been made whether to file charges against anyone involved in this confrontation.
Well, you know, many people have seen this video by now, including candidates for the state's highest office. As governor, one of those candidates will eventually oversee the Department of Public Safety, and they are now weighing in on whether OHP should release its dash cam video of this scuffle between first responders.
OHP said its video shows the fight in its entirety, and it appears that video may soon be made public by the very department who refused to release it in the first place. News 9 Dave Jordan joins us now with these new developments. Dave?
Well, Amanda, after 3 weeks of controversy and numerous open records requests, it looks like the public will finally get a chance to see what happened on May 24th. We just got word within the last 15 minutes that the Department of Public Safety has done an about-face of sorts and will release that dash cam video.
Our practice is not to do it. Everybody, has wanted this thing, and we're standing by our practice right now.
But late Friday evening, the department had a change of heart. News 9 has learned that OHP is releasing the video and putting it on a website. This came just hours after State Senator Randy Brogdon called for its release.
I don't believe the law requires that they release it, but certainly someone who believes in transparency in government at all levels, I think it would be a prudent thing to do.
Brogdon is in agreement with his rivals for the state's top office on this one issue. Democrat Drew Edmondson and Republican Congresswoman Mary Fallin all want that video released. Lieutenant Governor Jerry Askins had no comment. In a statement, Fallin says she personally contacted the Department of Public Safety to urge them to release the tape in question. Doing so, she believes, would further public safety and understanding. Edmondson says the recording should be made available. The district attorney in charge of the case has said as much, which indicates to me that there is no reason to keep it confidential as part of the investigation. But Senator Brogdon believes it would also serve another purpose.
I think it'd be good to release it just so we could maybe put it to rest, and hopefully it would quieten things down.
And it appears that DPS is going to do just that. As we mentioned at the outset, we are working to get that video. Once we do, we will put it on our website. Just click on news9.com and check under the links tab mentioned. And we should let you know more about this case. We were told that Trooper Martin's attorney will hold a press conference Monday afternoon.
Good evening. Glad you're with us tonight. By the time you hear the sirens, it's already too late. You're caught on tape.
When police pull drivers over, many videotape everything. But there's one law enforcement agency that doesn't ever have to share that video. Now some are asking, why hide it?
You see, all this stems from that controversial scuffle. Dave Jordan's story is new tonight. Dave?
Well, Kelly, attorney Stephen Fabian never had a problem getting dash camera video from the Department of Public Safety until 2005. That's when he filed open records requests for video of his clients. Now, Fabian says dash cam video should fall under public information, just like police reports. It's been seen by nearly 200,000 people on YouTube, the full dash camera video of OHP trooper Daniel Martin and paramedic Maurice White scuffling in the street. After previously saying it was not public record, the Department of Public Safety went ahead and released it. Attorney Stephen Fabian says it should never have been withheld in the first place.
It's public's right to know what law enforcement is doing out there. And look at all the media. Every time somebody gets arrested, you see the mugshots, all right, in the paper. That's all public information. Videos from dash cams.
Fabian, a former general counsel for OHP turned defense attorney, has been fighting this battle for years. 4 years ago, he sued DPS for access to dash camera video of his clients. A judge ruled in his favor, and later that year, the legislature exempted DPS audio and video recordings from open records requests.
Before the videos and without those videos, there's a lack of information, a lack of ability to contest and challenge what the government does. And that's the whole purpose of the Open Records Act, is to make government accountable and responsible.
We checked with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Department and police departments with Del City, Midwest City, and Edmond on their dash cam policies. In each case, all agencies released the video through open records requests.
Our policy is generally to not release the video until all the investigations are complete. That means our in-house investigation, and sometimes it means when it goes through the court system.
Law enforcement agencies in other states are also quick to respond, even when the video is not favorable. 5 police officers in Birmingham, Alabama lost their jobs after dash cam video showed them beating an unconscious man who was thrown from his SUV after leading police on a high-speed chase.
Now, who would have believed that that video would have shown what it showed if they hadn't seen it? I mean, it's like revelation.
And DPS is the only law enforcement agency in the state that has its audio and video recordings exempted from open records requests. And Kelly, it's unlikely that will change anytime soon.
State lawmakers are moving toward changing the process by which the Department of Public Safety releases dash camera video. This is a result of a story News 9 was first to report about a now infamous altercation that was caught on tape. Dave Jordan has the details.
The Department of Public Safety initially said this cell phone video of a fight between first responders back in May didn't tell the whole story. Yet officials refused to show us the dash camera video that did. DPS claimed that footage wasn't covered under the Open Records Act. But after pressure from lawmakers and the media, it ultimately released it.
DPS's approach obviously hasn't been the most open. In fact, it's been inconsistent and haphazard at times.
Representative Randy Terrell is now working on a bill that would amend the Open Records Act to include dash camera video and audio. Exceptions would include internal communication, information including potential evidence, and obscene pictures including but not limited to death, mutilation, and disfigurement.
It's a perfect opportunity for the legislature to step in and provide some clarity and consistency, and we intend to do that by clarifying that these audio and video recordings are in fact an open record.
Democratic Senator Jim Wilson of Tahlequah has written Senate Bill 1252, which covers similar ground. In a statement, Wilson cited the May 24th altercation between Oklahoma Highway Patrolman Daniel Martin and paramedic Maurice White as one example of why the media and the public should have access to officers' dash camera videos.
And they probably should have been a little quicker to release those tapes.
Representative Mike Christian sits on the Public Safety Subcommittee, but he has also been in the driver's seat for DPS. He is supporting the measure.
As a retired state trooper, I think it's a great tool for law enforcement, but also I think there's certain areas where the public have a right to know.
And ironically, OHP, whose actions triggered this legislation, is also on board.
We want to be transparent. We're a transparent agency. We want the public involved in what we do.
Now, both Representative Terrell and Senator Wilson are planning to introduce their bills in the next legislative session.